So a little bit about Greg. I talked about myself in the third person. I work in New York for HOK. I don't blog that much. I really like cats. And yes, I know James Van de Zandt, which is sort of usually the order of questions I get in the world. You can see my Twitter handle down at the bottom if you want to shout out during the presentation. It's a really quick thesis I'm going to go through today. And a little bit it's sometimes nerdy, but I was looking for an actual quick way to talk through this problem, and this M to N, not M, or 1 to N is an interesting way of thinking about it, which basically I think it's a SQL language, basically means many to one, or many to many, not one to many. And so the point of that is to talk about this sort of diagram, or there's tons of these diagrams out there about this integrated model, this view of the world where everything, the BIM and all the information around it fits in the center, which I think fundamentally we need to start to realize and adapt is not anything like the real world. And I'm sure a lot of people in the room realize this, but it's much more, sort of a network of things. So you might do a little rendering over there. You might get cost or imagery from this place to the other. In the future, we might want to plug in an AI and so forth. And I think really this approach of thinking through that and then looking towards and adapting technologies that fits this reality are really what the key thesis of what I'm just talking about today is this notion that there is no one solution to solve all our problems in our industry and that will bring everything together. So we should look for bunches of tools that actually can connect together and an approach to the world that actually, sort of makes this connection possible. So when you look at this model, the difference between this and that is this is computable, and this is the way the actual world works and the internet works and all the other technologies that support it. And this really comes down to people making all these connections happen. So generally, the internet should be computers, not people, is the way I would sort of characterize this problem. And so if you sort of do all the work that this entails, like I just was on a call with someone that might actually be in the room there about how their project uses 3 common data environments, which is a humorous idea because the common data environment has a specific meaning. But, the fact of the matter is there's a reason that people choose technologies, and it shouldn't be that the technology is forced upon you versus being able to connect to it. So again, that's why I'm sort of talking through this idea and then getting to the last point, which is really the fundamental point of the discussion is we like cats, or I particularly like cats, so I had to throw one in there. But to talk about how so certainly 3D Repro can't do everything, but what we're really interested and exciting about are the pieces where it does fit together. This, a web-based model viewer giving access is a scenario that we think is fundamentally important to enable the use of models in general. Then the ability to connect to game engines and start to do workflows that are integrated and not, you have to be in just the game engine. You can provide a network-based experience that delivers more than just one game can provide. Something we're realizing yet. I just want to make sure we're clear on it. But these are the areas that certainly, and others that we're really particularly interested in a model storage environment that is a modern web technology database that we can start to ask interesting questions of. So this particular slide points to some of the reasons we're looking. At the end of the day, it's this ability to network different tools together and bring the best capability to the job is what we're sort of trying to move forward. I will say there are certainly the other views that there's this big fat center that everybody connects to, but we're definitely more inclined to look for an open world that we can do all our work between different for the right project. So that was basically it. I didn't want to take too much time. Being a long ways away remotely is always difficult, but this is by far my favorite cat slide in the world, and the meme is well fitting to our industry. You guys can all read, so I won't read it out loud, but otherwise we can halt there.